Be careful, the besties are around in the fucking 6th door still.
Yo, who's in this gauntlet, man? Who's in this bitch?
That goddamn gun. Get hurt.
What'd you say, bitch? Yeah, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Whoa. I'm not involved in this shit.
Both y'all can shut the fuck up, bitch.
I'm not involved in this shit.
All right. Court is back in session. The plaintiff may proceed with its closing argument when you're ready.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, today we've heard a story of police misconduct. They were driving around in a blacked-out gauntlet doing quote-unquote reconnaissance, or perhaps it was patrol.
Bro, straight into it, no hesi.
Either way, they said they were on duty,
No hesitation
so
at all.
they were acting in the official capacity of their police duties. Or maybe not, according to Den. He's not sure, but then again, he doesn't know what a shoulder is, so not sure how much we can rely on his recollection of things.
Patch Adams, thank you for the
We've
gift,
heard
man.
today that they pulled
Appreciate
up
you.
in a blacked-out gauntlet with no police markings, no lights, no sirens. When spoken to, they didn't identify themselves as police. Mr. Mason was doing what he thought was right. He tried to identify to see if it was a threat, as the Gauntlet is a well-known car used by many criminals throughout this state. He wanted to make sure his life wasn't in danger. But the response he got was not one that a police officer should give. They didn't identify themselves. Mr. Mason then tries to get back to the van and sees two people get out.
Goddamn right.
Mr. Shiesty not even wearing a vest that says police visible on the front. All we have on the front is that of a hormone replacement therapy or a tactical response team. Hard to tell. I mean, how long has the TRT even been around? How is someone, a reasonable person, meant to know about that? They're not in legislation. They're not in the news. How is someone meant to know that that means police?
Not
Mr.
common
Shiesty
knowledge.
says he had a badge on his shoulder, but again,
Where's
what's
the
that
shoulder,
really worth
bitch?
at this point? I mean, we've seen what
What's
happened
a
on the stand.
shoulder, bitch?
The LSPD even agrees with us.
Yep.
Mr. Mason was not charged for shooting Denzel
Goddamn
or
right.
shooting Kade.
Goddamn right.
He wasn't charged. The PD agrees. They seen the error of Denzel and Josh's ways and took the right stance. Now, obviously, maybe internal punishments came. That's not for us to sort of decide. What we are here is for punitive damages within the court and the loss of time that Mr. Mason would have had working at Frex.
Bro,
Mr. Mason
we lost 6,000.
caught up in all this because he had to defend himself.
We did this for
And a lot of
6K,
people say,
bro.
and 99% of the time, you can't defend yourself from police. In this instance, you can, when they make no effort to show themselves as police. All we seen was people cosplaying, what was it, Denzel? Criminal thugs. And they were treated as such.
God damn. God damn.
All right, defense closing.
God damn, Robin. God damn. God damn, Robin. God fuck. Fuck. Fuck, brother. Fuck.
Your Honor.
I'm not even gonna listen
Ladies
to this guy.
and gentlemen of the court. Today we've heard evidence and testimony related to a claim made by the plaintiff that essentially boils down to, I got scared, so I shot some people. They should pay me a fuck ton of money.
6K is not a fuck ton.
Now, in what world does this make any
We're also
modicum
asking
of
for
sense?
100K.
Oh yeah, fuck.
The testimony today has covered a collision, followed by Mr. Mason having out a firearm due to fears regarding being hunted by a gang. He at no point made an effort to contact 911 at this point.
Lick my
He
taint,
said
bitch.
that he was being followed
Lick
by
my
a dark
fucking
gauntlet.
taint.
A gauntlet that was driven at the time by Officer Shiesty and Officer Kade. And that it was tailing them throughout the city. However, the testimony shows that this gauntlet made no apparent attempts to pull up or pull over the vehicle that Mr. Mason was riding in. We have testimony from the occupants that they were in the area only to observe the situation. They were not attempting to detain, impede, or arrest anyone involved with the incident at that
Then why
point.
did Shiesty get out of the car?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Are
This
we
guy's
asking
fucking
now
dense.
that officers should just scream out, I'm a police officer, whenever they're in the area of civilians and other people?
Trying to stop
At any
crime,
point?
yeah.
By themselves.
Testimony then from the officers.
we asking
and
they do
Mr.
their
Mason was
jobs?
that
Maybe.
Mr. Mason asked who was in the gauntlet. He approached the gauntlet. Officer Kade testified and wrote in his statement in the supplied report that he saw Mr. Mason with a firearm. Officer Shiesty at that point asked him to put the fire away once made aware of its presence. When he did not, Officer Shiesty exited the vehicle and was shot down. Officer Kade then exited the vehicle to respond to this now apparent threat. Mr. Mason shot
Yeah, I'm a
both of
fucking
them
threat, bitch.
and then ran to the park.
This lawyer is
At no
done
time during
for.
this did he
This
stop
lawyer's
and call for
fucked.
help. Did he ask for any help from any bystanders? No. Did he call 911? No. Our legislation notes that any person using stand your ground as a defense must contact the authorities and remain on scene to assist. We have testimony today from the plaintiff himself that this is not the case. We have also today had a lot of testimony related to the clothes that the officers were wearing. To quote the witness, Lang Buddha, directly from his written statement, one guy had a mullet, black shirt, vest. The second guy had broccoli head and a white shirt. However, today his testimony and story has changed. They're now both wearing black.
Oh my god, this
He
guy
claimed in
loves
his
colors.
statement
This
that
guy
they
fucking
both
loves
jumped out of
colors.
the vehicle and had guns drawn. But we have testimony from the officers themselves that this is not the case.
Yeah, I don't know.
We also today have claims for compensatory damages for lost wages. However, the plaintiff has not even done the bare minimum in this case to provide any evidence showing previous payments, any sort of payment schedule that the plaintiff was afforded, or any medical records showing that the plaintiff could not work following this incident. Your Honor, this is a clear cash grab from the plaintiff in an incident where they did not follow the law and somehow are blaming the victims of a shooting and stating that they are at fault. We ask, given the inconsistent testimony from the plaintiff and the evidence today, that the plaintiffs have no claim to the money they are asking for. Thank you.
Of course we do.
Tight shit.
All right. Court is now going to be in recess. There's a lot of evidence to go over here. I suspect I'll be back with a verdict.
Bro, that guy needed 20 minutes for that?
Court is in recess until then.
Holy fuck! They couldn't do the bare minimum.
That guy needed 20 minutes to say three
I mean,
fucking
if-
boring ass
Couldn't
lines.
do the bare minimum, crazy.
If you knew how the food booths work, you'd know you can't get bank statements from them, so that's kind of weird.
You look thicker, you know, like lifting weights. I think
She looks whiter too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Hello. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Goddamn.
All right. Are all parties present ready to proceed with the verdict?
Looks like it.
No way! Look on
Hey,
TMZ.
hey.
All right. Court is
TMZ.
back in session.
LeBron James,
no
the
matter-
Guangdong Tigers.
All right. That's enough of the outburst. Thank you. Court is back in session. Verdict has been reached. I will go ahead and read that verdict now.
All right, it's not looking good.
In reviewing the evidence presented in this case, the court has carefully considered the events that took place on the day in question. The incident involved the plaintiff, Mr. Mason, and the defendants, Officer Den Shiesty and Josh Kade, who were patrolling or conducting reconnaissance at the time in an unmarked gauntlet. The plaintiff testified that he perceived a threat when the gauntlet approached and its occupants failed to identify themselves as police officers. This ultimately led to Mr. Mason discharging his firearm, believing he was acting in self-defense. The defense argued that the officers were conducting reconnaissance and that Mr. Mason escalated the situation by approaching the vehicle with his firearm drawn. While the court acknowledges the complexities of the situation and the misunderstandings that arose, we turn our attention to the claim for compensatory damages brought by the plaintiff. The plaintiff in this case has requested $6,000 in compensatory damages, claiming that the incident prevented him from working at his job at Frank's.
$6,000.
However, it is critical to note that no testimony or evidence was provided demonstrating that Mr. Mason was physically unable to work following the incident.
No way
Furthermore,
we lose
the
on
charges
that.
led to Mr. Mason's imprisonment were unrelated to the direct actions of officers Shiesty and Kade.
What?
Instead, these charges stemmed from Mr. Mason's subsequent actions, including shooting at Lieutenant McNulty in possession of a tampered firearm, as detailed in the plaintiff's exhibit A. Additionally, the plaintiff did not provide a clear argument regarding the specific period for which lost wages are being claimed. Based on the testimony of $2,000 to $3,000 hourly wage and the request for $6,000 in compensatory damages, there's an insinuation that a total of 2 to 3 hours of work was lost.
Yes.
However, no evidence was presented that Mr. Mason was unable to work due to this incident. If the compensatory damages are intended to cover the time that he had spent in prison, again, it's crucial to recognize that the imprisonment was for separate charges, not directly related to the actions of the defendants in the gauntlet. Furthermore, the plaintiff and Mr. Buddha both claimed under their examinations that they were on their way to sell materials at the time of this incident, which does not indicate in any way that Mr. Mason would have otherwise been working at Frank's but for this encounter. Given the lack of clear articulation
That's
supporting
all they're
evidence
gonna
of actual
touch
monetary
on?
damages
Oh, that's
incurred,
boring as fuck.
the court finds the defendants not liable for compensatory damages. And as punitive damages cannot be awarded in the absence of actual damages, this court also finds that the claim for punitive damages must be denied. Therefore, this court rules in favor of the defendants and no damages will be awarded. That is the order of this court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Shit!
Thank you, Your Honor.
Big brr.
This is
Hooray!
This is it. Look at that. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at
Do
this
it,
pussy.
do it, motherfucker,
Look
do
at this
it.
pussy. Look at this pussy. Look at this pussy.
When the
Look at this pussy.
situation
The court,
came from their
Court
actions.
case was only over $6,000.
So while that
yeah.
the situation regarding them, and if they had been charged in relation to the actions of
You're
these
telling me this
individuals, like
whole
attempted
fucking
murder
thing,
employee for these people,
the
that's
fucking,
fine.
all the questions
That
and all
doesn't
this shit was for $6
excuse
grand?
Mr. Mason shooting at fully
What a fucking
uniformed
waste of
Lieutenant
my
McNulty.
time.
who
Should I
was
be a cop?
responding
Should I
to
be a
the
cop and just hop out on everyone? Guns out, ready to
I'm
blast?
not
saying I'm not.
Is that what I should
hold on.
do?
Again, I didn't make a ruling that what they did was right.
You didn't
or
even
wrong.
touch on it. You didn't even say shit. They're just gonna do it again.
so-
They're just gonna do it again.
The issue here was a lack of articulation of compensatory
Oh,
damages.
fuck off.
But he would never have
I'm
been
not going to
arrested
take direct
if
disrespect in my courtroom. I'm happy to answer questions, but I'm not
Ah,
required to. I can
fuck
just leave.
off.
All right, that's
Mr.
fine.
Mason, please
Have
be
a good day.
silent, please.
Fucking
Thank you.
spineless fucking bitch.
You got anything else, Robin?
Weak ass, grown ass fucking man. Fucking shell of a fucking man.